What is up, everybody? I'm Verdict, and thank you so much for stopping by. I don't really do these, actually. I hate React content. I dislike it. I think it's a plague. I don't want to be a part of it, but this has been such a big talk recently, to the point where it came under my radar. Everything is blowing up into the universe, and I feel like people are just talking about this all the time as if it really is. By definition, as Kanon's video over here says, Asmongold exposes BDO's biggest issue. So a couple of things about this is, essentially we're talking about, just to summarize, because we're not going to play over all of these things. I don't plan on playing all of these videos. I'm just going to take like a little bit of a snippets here and there. Essentially what Kanon did with his video is he wanted to express an opinion that Black Desert Online can be overwhelming for new beginner players. Rightfully so. That makes a little bit of sense, actually. A little bit of a clickbaity situation. He was worried about this video being taken as a severe clickbait. It was taken as a clickbait. At least it is a clickbait. And what happened afterwards? Asmongold reacted, and then of course now everybody talks about it because Asmongold talked about it. Now BiceptimusPrime, who's one of our biggest content creators, makes a video about it, and everybody's talking about how much text there is all of a sudden in video, as if we never played this for about years and years and years. But nonetheless, guys, let me just show you what's up. Let's play up until the first couple of seconds into Kanon's video, and let's just really talk about what he's saying here. Let's go.
That's the thing, man. Asmon prefers to play games and learn it at his own pace by himself.
His opinion, his choice.
Well, it seems like that anyways, right? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
Many
wrong.
players fall into that same category.
Nothing wrong.
It's Black Desert Online's job, it's Pearl Abyss's job to create and design a game where it's not necessary for a brand new player that's clueless coming into the game to require a guide. You know what I mean?
Let me become the CEO of Pearl Abyss without having one single moment of game design experience. You know, this is kind of one of those things, man. It really pisses me off. It really pisses me off. It upsets me that people nowadays have grown so complacent to the point where they think that everything should come at them without too much effort put in. Now, here's the thing, guys. Kanon, I'm sure he's a very great guy. In fact, he looks like a dude I would love to drink a couple of beers with. And he really looks like a very, very genuine guy. And I'm sure that he's passing his feedback, even though I don't like the way he's doing it. That's my opinion. Hey, feel free to judge me, blow me up into pieces in the comment section if you want. But as far as I'm aware, guys, the gaming community has grown so complacent nowadays, and I left this types of feedback onto BiceptimusPrime's video. And I really feel like we are so complacent nowadays. We're so tired of bad games to the point where we're engaging into other products, purposely looking to find an issue with them. Instead of us making videos to excite people about playing the game. Instead of us really kind of saying, oh my god, look at this, it's amazing. Black Desert Online's Draconia, it's absolutely a beast. Instead of exciting people about that, we kind of take the snowball of negativity, we push it down the slope of the mountain and see where it actually lands, and all of a sudden, boo-hoo, BDO's biggest problem is a little bit too much text for people to handle. Anyways, but what happens really, in reality, is Kanon really passed on his feedback. This is his feedback. I really believe that he could have taken it as his own without justifying it with Asmongold's reaction, but that's kind of that's really what I'm hanging on, I guess. I guess this is the hill that I will die on. He clickbaited with his name. Nonetheless, Kanon seems like a very cool guy. Please don't go bully him. We all have different opinions. We're entitled about them. And let's be honest, we all have a little bit of a megalomania within ourselves, thinking that we are the most important and that everything that we say is true because we all experience different things and we all go to conclusions from them. But nonetheless, guys, let me show you something over here. So then Asmongold makes this video. This is where he kind of deflects it into this particular start of the thing, right?
Right now. You know, it kind of sucks that the game is lacking in that department because there's going to be a lot of players that are turned off by this initial experience because it's.
And before I do this, let me just say it like this: if this initial experience turns you off, you are not made for MMOs. If you expect to come from Overwatch, a shooter, into Black Desert Online, expecting for this to be a storytelling game, 1, 2, 3, move from point A to point B, Age of Empires style, like, it's not going to be that for you. I think that players have a little bit of a false expectations from MMOs nowadays. And let's be honest, MMOs are notorious for being overwhelming. It's a norm with the game. It's supposed to be overwhelming, otherwise you'll finish it in a day or two and be bored out of it. You have to have all these options.
It's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming to play a new MMO in general, and I think especially to come into an existing MMO that's been around for a while, and you have like login rewards, you have like all these items you're getting, you have all these menus you have to go through, you have like all this stuff. Like, yes, it's extremely overwhelming. I think that's just the case with any game, really, but it's especially the case with like new MMOs that like just came out.
True.
Or sorry, like new people coming into MMOs that have been out. Sorry.
You guys know what I mean. For those of you who play the game, you absolutely know when you watch Asmon or you watch some of these other.
And also, at one point, I saw Ricky TV over here into the comment section. He said Path of Exile. Like, let's be honest, man. If there is a game that overwhelms you, it's Path of Exile. But one of the things about me in particular, and I guess this is just me, I'm giving myself as an example. If he gives Asmongold as an example, I give myself. The first time I went into Path of Exile and opened up those talent pages, when that thing blew up in front of me, I literally took a step back like that, and I was like, whoa, that's so many things. I can't wait to put my mind in it. It really is the way you approach an MMO. It's like, I hate the way he presented his argument about this. I'm still hanging on to that Asmongold thing, I guess. But nonetheless, now, because of this, and because of Asmongold reacted to all of this, now this is a pressing issue in our small little piece of the internet, the Black Desert Online community. That we're not a lot, man. Like, when somebody big as Asmon and you and Stoops, I think the other dude was, when you guys come around, you know, it's kind of like a big deal for us. It's an event of its sort, and everybody wants to excite you guys. We want to give you the best types of feedback so that you guys get to stay in. Or in other words, we, the experienced players, we're kind of narrowing your path so that you have a pleasant experience. So let's hear to what Sonny says. I think it was over here.
The game, and as soon as you get into it, it's gonna be a lot easier and a lot more intuitive. But it is extremely overwhelming in the beginning. I also do want to mention real quick the difference between streaming the game in front of 30,000 people, or a couple of thousand, or hundreds of people, and then just picking up the game and playing it yourself. People like myself had the luxury of playing the game and learning it over time, and then bringing that content and knowledge to
playing the game since start and learning it over time. It's a luxury to be able to complete an MMO and be so knowledgeable about it. It's one of the things that drives MMOs. We're out here pretending as if World of Warcraft did not become such a notorious game because of how hard it was to get inside the game, find the game out, figuring all of these things about the game, and in the end, the big players, the chunks, the chunguses that came around and taught everybody the tips and tricks on how to progress it faster. We're sitting out here behaving as if we should be literally guided by the game itself on how to complete it. That's not an MMO, guys. That is not an MMO. This is something like an RPG storytelling shit to me, like, but still, you get the idea. Let me just play a little bit more of Sonny because he'll say something very important.
All of you, but imagine how it would be for the content creator, the streamer, to be the one having to learn all these things, and then in a very like deep and complex game, bring it all as well with entertainment. So it's
with entertainment. That's one of the main things, man. Like when I saw Asmongold play for the first time, I did spend about 5 minutes because I'm not particularly interested into the types of content that he does. That's just me. I just don't consume that thing. But nonetheless, when I watched Asmongold play for the first time, I kind of saw him really feel like, man, that's a lot of stuff happening. But it felt like he had genuine interest in figuring this out, and that's the difference. He kind of neglected chat room for a split moment there. He was like, let me see, what is that? Right? And that's so important because when you have genuine interest to complete Black Desert Online, when you have a genuine interest to kind of not necessarily complete, but even compete inside of it, just so you kind of move ahead, just be a little bit ahead of the curve, just a little bit. The motivation that you want to be there will let you really learn all of these small things, all of these issues or problems that people call them. They're going to evaporate immediately. It just takes a little bit of time. So with such videos, when we're talking about this, we're kind of, in my opinion at least, deflecting from what the real issues of Black Desert Online. There's plenty of them right now, just to give a couple of examples. The stupid game can't even run for 30 seconds without stuttering from 144 frames to 60. Bamboo Legion Forest, let's be honest about this, the new expansion, the moment you get into the Bamboo Forest, like, you're capped at 60. The 40 series can't push above 70 frames. Like, the hertzes are kind of messed up, the textures are overwhelming. This is what we can talk about. There's plenty of big issues instead of the minor inconveniences that players experience in the start of the game. And as I said earlier, well, if you think that a MMO should not be overwhelming, then I don't think you really are here for the MMO. I'm thinking that perhaps you're just here to ride a wave of excitement until that wave kind of really flattens out, and then you leave onto the next thing that pops out. And I also believe that we shouldn't throw the player's cognitive ability through the window, as if when you see an item that you don't understand and it's obviously orange or purple or something with a special color, to the point where they wouldn't place it down into this bottomless bag thing or just like into the storage. I really think that, you know, a part of the MMO, as I said earlier, is the experience, and things will be figured out along the way. And if a guide is what you need, then a guide is what you will get. It is quite typical for the MMOs. See you soon, guys.